Here's the difference between the left and the right in American politics. Let's break it down into deeper principles to begin to put things in proper perspective. The word liberal, meaning plenty. For example, to apply something liberally means to give every spot what it needs. The word liberal means generosity because there is a lot. It's the ability to be fair. It means plentiful. Conservative. To conserve. Because there is not enough. Conservative is the opposite of plentiful, so one must withhold and conserve. It's a very strong and strict stance to take, to conserve. The reason we have this two-party system is because these two factions actually represent our good and bad sides. When we are troubled, we care about our troubles, but when we are well, we share what we have. Think of it this way. The average Clinton supporter in the 2016 election is someone who lives in the city, or they have institutional support like they come from a college or a union. The average Trump supporter is a rural worker who can't seem to find any support or pay their bills, and they often come from what we call flyover states, or places that no one seems to notice. This is how we can account for the fact that liberals are always considered authoritarian and snowflakey to conservatives, because liberals are better educated. Conservatives are always considered violent to liberals, because conservatives are hardier and more prone to action since they come from a lower quality of life. But when a person can't pay their bills, they begin to blame others, and it creates a sense of tribalism. What's funny about the two sides is that when radicalized, they begin to go against their own original beliefs. If it becomes important enough that they defend their values, they will go against their own values. When liberals feel the need to be more liberal and defend liberalism, they actually begin to conserve. They section themselves from others, like straight white males. They begin to hold good things for themselves, like funding and safe spaces, while censoring anyone else. When conservatives feel the need to be more conservative, they actually begin to liberalize and form a cultural identity based on their sexuality or their race. This becomes their only personality. Sound familiar? My example definition earlier, conserve versus plenty, can actually be applied to anybody. Wealth comes in the form of knowledge, money, or heart. It all starts in the heart, and any person will conserve their heart, conserve their money, or their knowledge when threatened. But they will share it when they are not threatened. What the alt-right doesn't realize is that they are no different than liberals on a bad day. We need to understand that inside all of us, as I have said again, there are two wolves. They are always fighting. They will always fight. But feeding the beast is never the answer.
He shuts his eyes. Then he opens them again. He ain't in Phoenix anymore. He's sitting in the middle of a street in Saigon circa 1963 in the orange robes of his Buddhist order, and he's drenched himself in gasoline. As he finally manages to push the thoughts of anger and hate out of his gentle mind, a fellow monk pleads with him one final time. And all angry thoughts finally dispelled. The first monk ever to burn himself to death to protest the war whispers, "It might."
Được mà.
He lights the match. So, your Viet Cong